Aerial work platforms are used to help us perform many tasks in maintenance and construction projects. When used properly, this equipment provides quick and easy access to work areas that were once impossible to reach. It does not matter what type of aerial platform you use, the law requires that you be trained in the functions of the controls and the safe operation of the equipment. While each type of lift has several safety precautions, basic safe operating procedures should be followed before, during, and after the operation of any aerial work platform. Before operating any type of lift, you must be well trained and authorized to use that unit. Your training should cover the model you'll be operating and the safe operating procedures associated with it. Be sure you understand and follow all warning and caution decals on your machine. Never use this or any type of equipment under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If you are on prescription medication, notify your supervisor immediately. If you have a history of dizziness or seizures, or are uncomfortable working above ground, you should not operate aerial lifts. All aerial platforms have one thing in common. They must be operated safely to prevent accidents, property damage, injuries, and death. As an operator of a boom-supported elevating work platform, it's your responsibility to know and understand all the rules with operating this equipment safely to protect your well-being and your coworkers. To do this, you must understand the equipment and its basic characteristics. Before you can even start your inspection to use the platform, you must make sure the operator manual for the model and type of lift is on the equipment. The aerial boom-supported work platform is one of the few pieces of equipment that the law requires that the operator manual be on it. Many other types of equipment suggest that the operator manual be on it. The aerial platform is one of the few that requires it. The aerial platform must be inspected before use each day or at the beginning of each shift. Begin your inspection with a walk around the platform. Look for structural damage, loose parts, leaks, and other unsafe conditions. The operating controls on the ground unit are to assist the operator in case of an emergency. All boom functions can be performed from the ground unit. You just cannot move the unit with the ground controls. If you are lowering the platform of a boom lift from the lower controls, make sure you are clear of the platform path and other movable parts. With the side covers removed, check the hydraulic and fuel systems for leaks, cables and wiring harness, fan belts, and any other components your company may require. Know the location of the emergency controls and verify that they are functional. On the outside of the unit, check the tires and wheel lugs, emergency controls, safety devices, personal protective devices, loose or missing parts, placards, warnings, control markings, and the operation manual. If the equipment has outriggers, stabilizers, extendable axles, or other structures, they must be inspected also. Read the owner's manual and make sure that you are checking everything that is required by the manufacturer. The lift must have a tilt alarm that activates when it's out of level. Many manufacturers are requiring you to check the tilt alarm prior to using the equipment. Check your owner's manual for the location of the tilt sensor on your unit. On the majority of boom-supported aerial platforms, the tilt sensor can be tested by shaking the cone found in the engine compartment. When the cone is moved outside the allowable range for the equipment, the tilt alarm will sound. Before entering the platform, you need fall protection, and you may need other equipment required by your company. This equipment may include hard hats, safety shoes, and work vests. Some environments may require hearing protection or respirators. Make sure you are wearing the correct fall protection harness. The harness needs to have a chest strap and straps that fit around your legs. There must be a ring to attach the tether to the ring in the center of your back. The straps need to be tight. Loose fall protection can cause serious injury. Once you have all the required safety gear and fall protection on correctly, you may enter the platform. When entering the platform, face the machine and always maintain 3 points of contact. Make sure the gate closes freely and without any obstruction. Make sure the guardrail system and all other protective devices are in place and secure. Never use any control levers as handholds when climbing on or off. Be sure to stay clear of any foot controls when mounting. Immediately upon entering the platform, connect the tether to an approved tether point. Each platform has a pound rating and will only allow as many people as it has approved tether points for. This unit has a 500-pound rating and only 2 tether points. On the platform floor is a dead man switch. The unit will not start if you are depressing it, and the control panel will not work unless you are pressing it. A special note, if you were to hold your foot there too long without moving any of the controls, the panel will lock out and you'll have to move your foot off of it and replace it to make the panel come back to life. Make sure you can read all the controls on the control panel. On the ground unit are arrows or markings that indicate forward. On the control panel are matching markings. These are to help you as you move the boom from side to side. You will always know which way the ground unit will move if you move the control level in the forward direction. Although aerial platforms perform the basic functions, the controls may be set up differently on the control panel by the manufacturer. Take the time to know how the one you are using works. After you have determined the controls are safe to operate, make sure you operate them smoothly. Avoid sudden stops, starts, and changes in direction. Be sure the steering works properly, and that you can control the travel and elevating functions. If any of the controls do not work properly, or there's any other malfunction, tag out the machine and report problems to the proper authority or to your supervisor. Do not operate the unit until all malfunctions have been corrected. Inform others in the area that you are preparing to start the machine. When starting the vehicle, follow the procedures in the operator's manual. It will include instructions for starting in cold weather. Do not start the machine in confined areas where flammable gases may be present. After starting, recheck all gauges and lights. Pay attention to wind and weather conditions. At 40 feet in the air, a 5-mile-an-hour breeze can feel like a hurricane. In lightning storms, bring the unit to the ground and dismount the unit. Every aerial platform has a speed limit switch connected to the boom height. On this unit, the first speed reduction begins when the boom is lifted off the cradle. You'll always want to make sure you have a clear path of your route of travel. Using the jib boom, raise the platform up so the path is visible and the boom stays in the cradle. This will provide the fastest travel speed available while allowing for the best view of the travel path. It's also important to drive the lift safely. Whenever possible, drive the unit in the stowed position to maintain maximum stability. Avoid sharp turns and sudden stops, especially when traveling at high speeds. If the speed is too fast for the terrain you are operating on, switch to turtle speed on the control panel. Be sure personnel remain clear of the machine during raising and lowering. Once you have a view of your path, check it for drop-offs, holes, obstructions, and debris. Make sure that where you are traveling will support the weight of the unit. As you raise the platform higher into the air, you need to be aware of any overhead obstructions, including power lines. All power lines must be avoided in accordance with the MSAD chart. MSAD stands for Minimum Safe Approach Distance. The minimum safe approach distance will vary depending on the voltage. Boom lifts can have articulating or telescopic booms used to maneuver the platform in place. Many of these units provide articulating jibs for additional versatility. This unit has a jib boom, main boom, and a riser to reach maximum height and angle. When operating around other equipment, take the necessary precautions to prevent a collision. The use of warnings such as flags, flashing lights, and barricades shall be used. Look in all directions before moving the platform. Keep coworkers on the ground clear of an operating lift, and do not position any part of the unit over personnel below. Never allow anyone to stand on, near, or pass under a raised platform. If you discover any problems while operating the lift or encounter any potentially hazardous locations, report them to your supervisor immediately. Make sure any problems are rectified before proceeding with your work. When encountering a ramp or a slope, make sure the grade does not exceed your vehicle's rating for traveling on these types of surfaces. If you must drive while elevated, make sure your view is clear and maintain a safe distance from overhead obstacles and other hazards. Maintain a travel speed that will allow you to safely avoid congestion, coworkers, and other hazards. Use extreme caution when traveling in confined areas. Keep your attention in the direction of travel, and be sure to check clearances beside, above, and below you. Have a coworker serve as a lookout if your view is obstructed. In all driving situations, remember that stunt driving and horseplay is prohibited. If for any reason you must stop the vehicle and leave it unattended, lower the platform and shut off the engine. Follow your company's procedures for preventing unauthorized use of the platform. Always check clearances above, below, and on all sides before raising, lowering, or rotating the platform. When the platform has reached the working position, make sure to secure items that could shift and strike the operating controls or fall from the platform. If the platform or elevating assembly of a boom lift gets caught or snagged by another object, all personnel on the platform must be removed before attempts are made to free the platform. Do not tie the platform to another object, and never attach wire, rope, or cable to the platform. If they were to get tangled or caught on an obstacle, the vehicle could tip over. Remember, an aerial platform is not to be used as a crane. When operating an aerial work platform, you may encounter special situations that have not been addressed in this video. However, by using good judgment, training, and your knowledge of the safety precautions presented here, you should be able to address these situations in a safe and efficient manner. But if you ever have a question about your safety or the safety of your equipment or environment, stop. Get your question answered. Don't take chances. Keep the platform floor clear of debris that could cause a person to slip or trip. Make sure rope, electrical cords, and other equipment will not affect your footing. Never use ladders, planks, or other devices to gain additional reach or height, and never lean over, sit, or climb on the platform railings. Keep both feet on the platform floor at all times. When lowering the platform, make sure that the surrounding area is free of personnel and other equipment. Park the lift in an area designated by your company. Make sure to park the unit on level ground. After you've parked the vehicle, place the platform in a stowed position. When you have come to a complete stop, place the controls in neutral. Shut the engine off. Dismount carefully using 3 points of contact while facing the machine. Never jump off the machine or dismount while it's moving. Aerial work platforms are important tools in helping us access areas that were nearly impossible to reach in the past. And, like any other piece of heavy equipment, unsafe use of any aerial work platform can result in serious injury and possibly death. It's the responsibility of all personnel to operate these machines safely, to protect company property, your coworkers, and yourself from serious harm or death.